Hi everybody, I'm Christine Schiavone and our show is Spiritual Exploration. Tonight we're going to talk about manifesting our intentions, and which is something that I'm sure everybody would like to know all about. Manifesting what you want from your life, your hopes, your desires, your needs. And so these are all things that we have intentions of getting and just don't know how. But here to help us figure out how, or to tell us how, is my guest Geozuwa. Hello Geozuwa, how you doing?
Hi Christine, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, you know that.
Yes, I love being on your show.
Oh, thank you. I love having you. Anyway, though, so we're going to talk about manifesting our intentions. Now, tell me, though, is there a magical secret or something that we don't know about that will help us get the things we want, we need, the money, the job, the people, whatever?
Oh, we're jumping right into it. Okay. So the key is it's all in your mind. Everything is in your mind. Your mind creates your reality. It affects all realities around you. Now, each one of us have the ability to create, and we're co-creating this world. And that's why sometimes you're intending for something to happen, someone's intending something else to happen, there's interference patterns. I know this evening we're not going to get into the Mandela effect and the infinite realities, but just as a side note so people are aware of it, there are infinite realities. There's infinite timelines, and realities are always shifting, changing, merging together. But that being said, we'll push that aside for now. And you asked, what is the secret? The secret is here and here. You have to believe. If you want to manifest your intentions, you have to believe that you're going to have it. You have to expect that you're going to get it. And the most important factor is you have to know. When you step into a state of knowing that you're going to manifest your intentions, that it's going to materialize into the physical reality, it's going to happen like this. If you know you already have it, it's that much quicker. So the secret is, and I'm not the only one saying this, I mean, it's been going on since our entire, yes, since beginning of time.
Tell me though, if you're intending something and you want something, and you're believing it, and you're really, really feeling it, then you should be able to manifest it.
Correct, except, and I like that you put the feeling in, because yes, it's here and here. So when you're manifesting your intentions, in your mind, you're believing it, you're expecting it, you're knowing it's going to happen, but you have to add in the component of feeling. Feel like you already have it. Go through the motions like you already have your desire manifested. Now, one of the things that I do want to say, and this is very, very important, do not manifest for someone else's reality. Do not intend, because when you intend for other people, you interfere with their path, you interfere with your own path, you interfere with all paths involved and the energy around, the space. So And what would be
Well,
some
what
of
do
those
you mean
examples?
by, yeah.
Okay, so you have a friend, and your friend tells you that, they're up for this job, they want this job, it's their dream job. You yourself should not intend for that person to get the job.
Oh, I see what you're
Only
saying.
because that job might not be the best thing for them.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
might be it might be the worst, most horrible thing for them to get that job. They're not aware of all the factors, and there might be something better that comes along. So what you would do in that case, a friend comes to you and says, yeah, they really want that job, and you want to help that person. What you're going to do is you're going to intend for that person, giving them energy. I like to connect to source, that beautiful, pure love, white light healing energy, and guide that energy to the person, your friend, and with your pure positive intentions of strength, courage, confidence, clarity of mind, clarity of purpose, perfect health, and if there's any lessons that they need to learn in this life, for them to learn it in the easiest, quickest, most positive, most beneficial manner for their highest good. And as far as a specific job, no. You're intending for them to be successful, to be happy, to be filled with joy, but never for a specific job.
Job or whatever they want specifically.
Well, definitely not a relationship. I do a show here at SICTV. Yes, Soulmate Talk.
Yes.
And one of the things, and I'll say it on here because many people do want to be with that special someone. And I will always teach, and please, everyone out there, please pay attention to this. Do not intend for a specific person. Will you get that specific person?
You might.
No, yeah, it's most likely you will, except it might not be the best thing for you.
Right, it might be a miserable relationship.
Exactly, because most people really don't know one another until
They get to know one another.
Right, which is sometimes it takes several years, sometimes an entire lifetime. So in any case, you never intend for a specific person because you'll interfere with that person's path, your path, and all the paths around.
Well, I've been told in the past if it is a specific person that you're interested in, that you would say, well, please bring that person or someone better.
Okay, and who are you asking?
Who am I asking you mean?
No, who you ask when you intend, that's your intention?
No, I'm just saying, generally speaking, when a person does intend that they want a specific person in their life, a relationship, a marriage, family, whatever, but they really, really want this person, but they I was told that you should say, well, if that person is meant, bring that person. If not, someone better.
Okay, very good. Yeah, not because you still don't know the person until you really get to know the person.
Yeah, that's true.
But I would still say not to intend for a specific person. Like, you know what, in your mind, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And you could leave it at that, but I wouldn't intend specifically for that person.
So then, as far as trying to manifest what your desires are in your life, if you cannot put out for a specific person.
Well, you can. You just
don't
shouldn't.
recommend
You
it.
shouldn't do
Right,
it.
you don't recommend it. But I'm just saying that, and if it's not a good thing to do, then what can you manifest?
Oh, you mean for a specific person? I mean for a relationship?
Or anything, a
Well,
job,
since
whatever.
we're on the relationship, let's talk
Okay.
about relationship.
All right.
You can intend for a specific type of person, specific look if you'd like, but the most important is the inside, of course. You want to intend for the soul, the mind, someone who's loving, caring. But you're putting out there for that perfect, and I love the word perfect, but you're putting out for that perfect person to be with all the ingredients.
So you're putting out intentions of what you want the person's qualities. In other words, like bring me someone who is kind, loves animals, is generous, is this or that or the other thing, whatever.
Yes, correct.
And then the universe will manifest the person that fits all of that criteria.
Yes. You are the absolute creator. So when you're putting your intentions out there, yes, it's being created. The reality is forming for that to take place. Now, of course, I always recommend that you work on yourself before you even begin to attract that person that you're going to be in a relationship with.
Work on yourself how?
Okay, so if you know, a lot of people have baggage, right? Most of us, we've experienced this life.
Oh,
We
sure,
experienced some
we've had
tough
hurt,
stuff. Yeah.
we've had loss,
Pain.
pain.
So one of the things that I always say is work on you so that you're not bringing that baggage that's going to weigh you down and keeping you from being optimally happy. Because if you do, if you're going into that next relationship, and let's say you have, let's say you were hurt by all your relationships in the past where you found out that they weren't trustworthy, and now you have trust issues. You do not want to bring trust issues into the next relationship.
Right.
Maybe that next relationship is the greatest person and is completely trustworthy, but if you're bringing in that lack of trust, it's going to interfere with the relationship.
In other words, if you start being suspicious. And
right,
all
and
that
then,
kind of stuff.
it creates all kinds of issues and interference and prevents you from being happy. So, yes, so if you have certain issues, you work on them. How do you work on them? If there's self-esteem, you know, what is it about yourself that you're not comfortable with? Bring yourself to either be comfortable with the way you are or come up with a way and a plan to change it and be the person that you want to be.
In other words, like your self-esteem comes from, let's say, being a little overweight or something.
And what do you do about that?
Go on a diet, lose weight, look good, you'll feel better.
Absolutely, yes. Now, of course, you know, it's the inside that counts. It's the inside that really, truly counts. You want someone with all of those qualities that make, you know, all the ingredients for that beautiful, perfect, healthy, loving relationship. But of course, yes, and there's, you know, we all have different ideas of what perfect is. We're all attracted to different types of people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are people that like, I personally, I don't like the Kardashians. I don't like the way.
I don't like them either.
them.
I don't care.
But-
I always change the channel. I see that. No, I
But
don't.
there are men and women that are absolutely attracted to that type
Yeah,
of
I
woman.
guess so.
I'm not, but there are tons of people that are.
I know
So,
what you mean.
you know, the idea of sometimes when you're looking at yourself and you're not where you want to be or where you think other people are going to be attracted to you, it really doesn't matter. It's the inside that counts. Now, of course, if you're going to feel better about yourself by losing some weight or toning up, then by all means, you go and do that. You're going to feel better anyway.
Yeah. So, well, that's true. So then, if you want to manifest a good relationship in your life, you just don't think about a specific person.
Not a specific
Think
person.
about the qualities that you're looking for.
Yes.
And you know, sometimes you could even write them down.
Oh, well, yes.
And as a matter of fact, I was told once by someone to write them down on brown paper, like a paper bag,
Okay.
with pencil, because this is natural stuff. This is the lead in the pencil's natural. The brown
Okay.
paper is
So that's moving more into like a metaphysical, maybe
Right,
like
right.
Certain healing modalities, certain even witchcraft,
exactly
good witches.
right. Yes,
Right.
yes. Well, I only deal with good witches.
Okay. And yeah, so that would be like, and by the way, just to let you know, with manifesting your intentions, absolutely everything works. Everything works. So it all comes down to your mind, what's here and here. Everything works. Now, yes, like you just said, if you want to write it with pencil on brown paper, absolutely. If that adds to you believing, if it adds to you expecting, if it adds to you knowing that it's going to materialize because you just wrote it with natural on natural, then it's going to enhance the outcome. It's going to enhance how you feel as you're writing it to create. Just like with crystals, you know, you could use any type of crystal to manifest any intention. I also have the Aladdin lamps I give my students. The Aladdin's lamp, you know, I have them write out intentions, put in the Aladdin's lamp, go into self-hypnosis or connect to source and really see that intention that you put into your Aladdin's lamp going out into the universe and manifesting.
Like a genie coming out
Yes,
and giving
absolutely,
it to you.
absolutely. Everything works. Lighting a candle, when
That's energy.
when Catholics go into the, now, do they still have real candles? Because
Some places do and some don't.
I prefer the real candles.
Well, I'll tell you something. There's a place on Victory Boulevard. There's the St. Paul's bookstore, and behind it is is a little chapel, and they have, it's all made out of stone and everything, so now it's not going to burn down.
Okay.
You can go in there and light real candles.
Okay. So with candles, I think all religions use candles, incense. It adds to the, putting out your prayer, your intention. Witchcraft, you light candles, you
Calling
do
angels.
runes. Everything works, and
Because
everything's
every
real.
religion believes in
And
angels.
everything is real.
Yes.
Everything is real. Everything works. It is your choice. So if you're going to manifest your intentions, do it in a way that's most comfortable for you. Have fun with it. So yes, if you want to, get a red marker or, get that feather pen with the red ink and really write it out on parchment.
They
And
call it dragon's blood.
is that what they call it?
Yes.
Red ink?
Yeah, the
Okay.
red ink that they use for spiritual things. It's called
Okay.
dragon's blood.
Absolutely. Everything works. Everything is real. It is your choice. Well, I always say everything is real, and at the same time, none of it's real. So what does that mean? It means it is your choice. It's your choice.
Now, on the other side of the coin, what if there are people whose intentions are dark, whose intentions are to hurt others, like that?
That is unfortunate, and that is a reality. There are people, and sometimes it's not so much that there are people with dark intentions or that are evil, but sometimes interference patterns occur and bad intentions, not intentional. Like some people, let's say you start to succeed, and now you have friends and family that are jealous, envious, and just by them having those thoughts, there are those lower frequencies that go out that try or attempt to or can interfere with your progress. And that happens a lot, yes.
Other people's energies can interfere with what you're trying to accomplish for yourself?
Absolutely, but you must always remember the light is more powerful than the dark.
That's right.
And when you believe it, you expect it, when you know with absolute certainty that you're always protected, guess what? You're always protected.
So then their
It will
intentions
bounce off.
cannot penetrate.
Correct. And if you realize that someone is sending you bad intentions, never send it back to them. Never wish for them to get what they deserve. Never, ever, ever. Free them from any negative karma. Who's going to benefit from that? You are. And the space around you, your frequencies and vibrations are going to rise. When your frequencies and vibrations rise, it's easier for you to manifest your intentions. So you never wish, if you know someone's sending you bad intentions, you never wish bad on them. You never wish for them to get what they deserve. What you're going to wish is love and light on them. Happiness, joy, forgiveness. You're going to benefit. So anything they're sending to you is going to transmute to light, to positive energy. It's going to actually allow you to manifest your intentions even quicker and be more successful.
Them.
Not despite them, but we'll come back to the word. I don't want to use that word. We'll come back to the word.
Well, I said despite, not despite.
Okay, yeah.
Despite the person's intentions toward you, if you're sending them...
Well, no, because you're not focused on that. You're focused on still giving them love and light. So they're, when I hear like in spite of or despite of, like I think of, a lower, so it's not like, oh, yeah, send me all your bad intentions. I'm gonna show you. No, you don't even want to think about that. If you're aware of it, you give them love, light, forgiveness, happiness, joy. Yes, and you just know that anything else that's coming your way is going to be transmuted into light, happiness, joy, and you're going to be even more successful, and you're going to be able to manifest your intentions easier.
Well, you don't have to send people bad stuff back because of the fact that you're sending them love and light. They're making their own future by doing this.
Right.
They're calling in the bad stuff on themselves.
Right.
So you don't have to send it to them.
Absolutely, never send it to them. But on another thing, though, when you do send in that love and light, it's very possible that when they're receiving the love and light and the forgiveness from you, something in their mind clicks, and they realize, many times, that they don't have to be envious or jealous. Maybe something will happen for them that now makes them focus on themselves and even be happy for you succeeding. Now, and another thing is most people that are jealous, envious, they've suffered as well. They have, this can be a very tough life for many people.
Oh, yeah.
And most people are in pain. There's a lot of people that are in pain.
Yes.
And, it's not their fault why they're doing the things they're doing or how they're doing it. So when you send them that love and light, you're giving them that energy to, wake up to other possibilities, knowing that they can have it for themselves. They don't have to accept their predicament and, be jealous of others. So then they realize that they could move forward and manifest their intentions in a positive way.
Well, maybe so, but I think that that's not the norm.
What's not the norm?
That people will feel the way you're feeling now, that they're sending somebody bad vibes, jealousy, whatever.
Well, I was meaning more the people that were doing it unintentional, that just by being jealous. Because some people that are jealous aren't specifically sending bad intentions, but just by them being jealous, those bad intentions. Now you're referring to people that are specifically sending bad intentions.
With intention of
You're
hurting,
You're still going to give them love and light. It doesn't mean they're going to change, like you said, absolutely. But you're taking
you're
away
doing
their...
it for yourself.
Yes, absolutely, and for the people around you.
And another thing, a lady that I met at a expo recently, she does angel healings and things. And one thing that she said that I thought was very interesting that never occurred to me, if there's somebody that you find it very, very difficult to forgive for whatever they've done, you say to God, listen, God, I'm having a hard time forgiving, so you do it for me.
Okay.
And you can ask God to do the forgiving.
Oh, absolutely. Everything works.
Yes.
So it's whatever's most comfortable for you. It's whatever works for you, everything works. So absolutely.
Yes, yes.
But still, when you can bring yourself to forgive, you absolutely free yourself to be the perfect you, to have perfect health, to heal, to manifest your intentions. It's very important to forgive.
Well, when you forgive, though, you forgive in your heart, but it doesn't mean that you have to be the person's best friend.
Oh, absolutely.
You
And that's a big
still
misconception.
Have a distance between you for the purpose of not allowing the person to hurt you again.
Right. Yeah, that's a very big misconception. Many people think that once you forgive someone, that you have to associate with them, you have to talk to them again, have them over your house.
No.
No.
You could still chuck them out of your life.
Right, and I recommend, especially if they're abusive, you get rid of them. You forgive, but you don't allow them to abuse you anymore. You do not allow them to walk all over you. You forgive, the forgiveness is for you.
Right.
Doesn't mean you have to have them over your house.
No.
Or go out to dinner.
Right.
You never have to talk to them ever again.
Phone, whatever.
Yes. Don't answer the phone. Many times if they're toxic people, you do not have to answer that phone. And I recommend don't answer the phone.
Right. Sure. No, because you don't want people in your life who are out to hurt you, who don't care about you, and who just continually
Correct.
Do bad things, and so
Correct.
Just forgive them and move on.
That is right. Now, again, I think we only covered the self-esteem part, by bringing that into a relationship, maybe the trust.
Right.
But there's so many things that, when you said writing it down, like right now, I'm coming up with a specific program for students to find their soulmate, to attract, to be in that perfect relationship. But the first thing that everyone has to do before they do the program, they have to write down all the qualities that they want in the other person.
Right.
They have to write down all the qualities that they have to offer that perfect
that's good.
person.
Yes.
They have to write down everything they do not want in a relationship. Then they have to write down and really examine all their previous relationships, what went wrong, what was their part in it, and really examine, well, if I did this and how did this happen, put yourself back in that and discover what went wrong. What was your part in that failed relationship? Now, the other thing is, I also have them write down, even if they were in a relationship with someone who's very manipulative or a narcissist, whatever it is, whatever the bad quality is, and if they said certain things, whether it's true or not, whether it's completely false, whatever they may have said to the person that was negative, write that down as well. We're going to examine all of it, and then we're going to work on every aspect of who you are so that you're ready to be in that relationship. Because you don't want to go into a relationship with all of the baggage. Now, again, sometimes you can't get rid of all of the baggage. But what you can do is if you can minimize it, and you can also work on how it affects you. Because if it's affecting you in a negative way, it's going to hold you back from having that beautiful relationship. It's going to hold you, maybe you'll still be happy, but you're not going to be as happy as you both can be if you're not able to deal with your past, to deal with that baggage. So that's another thing.
Right, right. Well, before we got into the, I think that we've pretty much covered about relationships.
Yeah.
But before we got into that, we were talking about things like jobs and other kinds of things that we want to manifest in our lives. I mean, supposing you're saying to yourself, "Oh, gee, I've always wanted to drive a Mercedes."
Okay.
So, but I don't have that kind of income that would afford me a Mercedes. All right, so what do you do then?
Well, that's the thing now. When you're going to manifest your intentions, especially on that level, one, if you manifest just you having a Mercedes, well, see, now you got to be careful with your wording because you just manifested driving a Mercedes.
Right.
So the wording is, okay, so you'll have the opportunity to drive it.
Well, yeah, and
won't
that might
yours.
be one opportunity that your friend who has one
Right.
says, "Go ahead, take it around the block."
Correct. So you have to be specific with your intentions.
Right.
And you have to truly believe, expect, you have to know that you're going to get it. So now, if you're intending to have the Mercedes, you have to intend that you will own a Mercedes free and clear.
That it will be new.
A brand new Mercedes, whatever
year,
whatever it is, brand new, free and clear. So, knowing that everything will adjust, the universe will make all adjustments, will shift for that to be the reality. So how will that be a reality? You have a relative you never even heard of, just left you a few $1 million? There you go. That's one possibility. There's infinite possibilities of how things manifest.
You might get an offer for a job that
Yes.
pays you 3 times what you're making now.
And you may even get an offer for a job, and they give you a brand new Mercedes
Right.
as a company car, and it's
Right,
yours
yeah.
to keep. I
Right.
mean, there's infinite ways of it
It could
manifesting.
happen.
But
Sure.
if you're intending to have a Mercedes, but at the same time you're thinking, well, I don't have the financial resources to get it, guess what? You're interfering with it, you're not going to get it. You can't have doubt. You know, there are people, especially when The Secret first came out, where, oh, I'm gonna manifest this, I'm gonna manifest that. Oh, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna think positive. I'm gonna think positive. The time comes, it doesn't happen. Oh, I knew all along it wasn't gonna happen. Then you weren't. You didn't know.
In other words, somewhere in the back of your mind, you weren't expecting it.
Right, which is that's not knowing it. That's not truly believing it. When you have doubt, when there's that little bit of doubt, you're interfering with it. So just like what you said with the Mercedes, but you said, well, we don't have the financial resources or the job that would, so now you have that doubt. You have that, well, I don't have the money to get it. Guess what? You're not going to get it. So you have to not worry about the financial part. Now, if you want the Mercedes and the financial part is something, then you could start manifesting for a financial opportunities that would allow
allowing you to.
There's infinite ways of doing it. There's infinite ways of
in other
going
words,
about
taking
it.
steps toward.
Yes, absolutely. For example, I had a student that self-published quite a few books, and she said she was manifesting. She was intending, putting it out there to the universe that she was going to, sell the books and so on and so forth. And no one's buying them, Well, what are you doing for people to be aware of the book? What are you doing for people to buy the book? Nothing. Okay, here's another thing. If you're going to go set out to manifest your intentions, let's say it is a book that you wrote and you want people to buy it. Is it possible, if you truly believe, expect, and you truly know that the book you write is going to be a bestseller and you don't do anything for it except publish it, is it going to happen? it's very, very possible that it will happen. So I said, yes, it's very possible. So you wrote a book, right?
Right.
And you're on the subway, and you accidentally leave a copy of your book on the chair.
And you get off the
So
train.
you get off the train. So now someone sits down and they look at the book, they start reading the book, and they love it, and they happen to be a publisher or an agent. And now they contact you.
I'm getting chills up my spine thinking about something like that, because that could happen.
That's very possible. Now, how do you facilitate that happening? Well, you wrote a book. What are you doing to make it a success? Because if you're doing all the work necessary as well, it's going to happen even quicker. So now imagine the woman. Yes, will that happen? Can that happen? Sure. But it makes it a lot easier when more people are aware of it. So now, do you do lectures? Do you do workshops about your book? Do you give copies away? Do you do book signings? You know, do the things so you're bringing more attention to it. It makes it a lot easier.
I'm sure, yeah. Well, yeah. And then another thing is with the intention and believing in yourself that you're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
And that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of books, let's just mention your book right here while we're on the
thank you.
subject of books, because one of the things that you do is you are very, very in tune with the other side,
Yes.
which is the title of this book, The Other Side. And so in the book you explain how people go over to the other side.
Yes,
and
I
visit with relatives and come back.
yes. And you do not have to die to go to the other side. 'Cause some people think, oh, go to the other side, visit now, and you do not have to die. I bring people to the other side all the time, and I bring you back. And it's just an absolutely beautiful, amazing, powerful experience. You know, you're there face to face with your loved ones who've passed away, face to face with your spirit guides. And a lot of
Probably
times,
an amazing experience.
oh, absolutely. And you gain valuable information about your life, your path, discover what your soul's name is. And a lot of times healing takes place instantly.
And you see heaven and all that?
Yes, there's angels. I mean, it's just beautiful. And yeah, and then when people come back, the biggest problems they thought they had are now so trivial. They have this absolute awareness that we come from this perfect place and we're going back to this perfect place when we leave this world.
Well, there was a story I heard a while ago, I believe it was true, where a teacher was talking to her young students, and she was saying to them, so tell me, does anybody know how do we get into heaven? So, and one kid would say, well, we do good deeds, oh yeah, and we pray to God, oh yeah. And from the back of the room comes a little voice saying, you have to be dead.
That's a good one. I like that. Nice. Thank you. I'm going to use that. You don't mind if I use that?
You can use it. It's not my joke. Or it's not a joke, actually. It's a story that really happened. The kid goes, you have to be dead if you're going to get to heaven.
Well, the truth is you do not have to die to visit heaven. And, you know, there's infinite ways of getting or visiting, you know, through astral travel, through your mind, you know, separating your mind from your body. There's so many ways of getting there and to visit. And you do not have to die.
What about in a dream? If a loved one comes to you in a dream and when you wake up it felt so real?
Most likely that is very real. It's a very real visitation. When you're in a dream state, you know, you have access to the infinite levels of your mind as well. And that's one of the things I like to teach is lucid dreaming, dream control. But when you're in a dream and it feels real, like a loved one has come and visit you, absolutely real. And a lot of times when people think that they're dreaming when a loved one comes to visit, they're actually outside of their body and the visit takes place. So they're astral, you know, they're out of body, but they don't realize it because they don't have enough experience with that, so they think that they were dreaming and it felt so real.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're out of your body when that takes place.
Because that happened with my mother a few times, and I really felt like she was there.
Oh, absolutely. She's absolutely
And especially when the loved one looks really good. I mean, you know, like they're all dressed up, their hair is just so, the makeup, everything. You know that they're happy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it is a beautiful, beautiful, perfect place that we go to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
sometime we'll have to talk about when we go there and we come back, but that's another subject.
That might be another subject.
Yes, it'll be another subject. But in the meantime, though, so we,
Well, here's a, I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to say like some
Yeah.
of the rules on manifesting. your
okay, yes,
intentions.
go ahead.
Do not, where we said don't manifest for others, only manifest for you, but do not interfere with other people. Do not control other people. Do not control the outcome or their outcomes. Only control you, how you feel, how you look, how you behave. Do not try to control anyone else. Like for example, if your brother's wife is pregnant and you know there's all girls in the family and you want to manifest a boy,
Yeah.
don't do that.
No.
You do not
'Cause
want
it
to
could be a very sick child, too.
well, there could be a lot of things. There's infinite possibilities, but maybe they want girls. Maybe that's all they want is girls.
Yeah.
So you don't want to manifest, oh, well, I want their next child to be a boy. It better be a boy, and you know, and they actively
People do that,
are
yeah,
intending.
sure
Yeah,
they
and you
do.
shouldn't do that.
No, no.
You should not do that.
No, it's what God wants, not what you want.
Well,
It's what God sends you.
you can change. I mean, you can change the gender inside the womb. I mean, there's infinite possibilities. There's infinite ways of doing everything that we do.
In other
So,
words, if you are, say there's a pregnant woman and she wants a boy real bad, and but maybe
she'll get a
girl's-
boy.
She'll get a boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it depends. I mean, one of the possibilities is yes, she'll get a boy. There's infinite possibilities.
Mhm.
It really depends. It might be that no, a girl has to be born because of certain things that were in the paths of that circle, that family.
Or this baby's path in life has to be a female.
Yes, I mean yes,
walking it.
absolutely. There's infinite possibilities, but you never want to intend for anyone else. You never want to control anyone else.
No, you can't control anyone else anyway.
Well,
and
people can.
They can.
and
They
it's,
try and
and
they
it's
do it.
yes, and it's
I know there's a lot of
it's
people
horrible.
in relationships where they're under the thumb of the
you
partner.
never want that.
And no, that's not a good thing.
No.
I've seen it. I've seen women that actually cringed at the sight of their husband
Yes.
or whatever. You know, they were so afraid of them and things
Well,
like that.
there's a lot of men afraid of their wives too.
True,
there's,
true.
there's a lot of men afraid of their wives.
That's true.
And
that's for sure.
there shouldn't be any fear. And
in
that's
a
another thing.
relationship like that, there shouldn't be any fear.
Right. There shouldn't. If you're going to create, do not create from a fear base. Do not create out of fear. Do not create out of anger. Do not create out of from any negative thought patterns. What you need to do is to create from the most positive, purest aspect of who you are. Then everything falls into place so much easier, so much quicker, more powerfully. But when you're creating from a fear base, you're getting more things to be afraid of, and it's really interfering with your optimal happiness and your abilities to create.
Right, right. No, you shouldn't try to make anybody afraid of you, and so you shouldn't have to be afraid of anybody.
Right, right.
You know, because that's not why God put us here. He didn't put us here to be afraid of each other.
Right. Well, I'm also meaning as far as the fear, I'm also meaning with, like, you want to create millions of dollars into your life, but you're creating it from a fear of not having it, then even the millions of dollars that you may get, it's still going to be, you're going to have that fear of.
It's always going to be not
right.
enough.
Right, so you don't want
Always
to
going
create.
to be afraid of losing.
Right, you don't want to create from that fear.
Right, right. Yeah, no, fear is not a good base to create anything.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So then what attitudes should we have when we want to manifest something good in our lives? I mean, we have to come from a positive way of thinking,
Absolutely, yes.
a belief that we can do this.
Absolutely. Believe it, expect it, know it.
Mm-hmm.
Know that it's yours, and it's like this.
Now, and that goes for just about anything that you can imagine that you might desire.
Absolutely. There are no limitations. Everything is abundance. And you can manifest money out of thin air.
Thin air?
I've seen it. My students have seen it.
Okay, tell us about that. I'm sure everybody's interested in wanting to know how you do that.
Okay. Many years ago in Staten Island, and I had identity theft, right? So I didn't have any credit cards. I had no bank cards, nothing. Everything had to be cash.
Right.
And in any case, it was a Saturday, and I had to leave for Florida on a Sunday. And I didn't have any cash. I had to go to the bank, but the bank was closed, and I don't have an ATM card. So I'm like, I have to leave for Florida tomorrow. What am I going to do? And I have my desk there, and I'm like, all right, well, I start straightening up. Now, there's, on my desk, there's nothing there, there's nothing. And I put the book down. I'm like, all right, I really have to go tomorrow. You know what? Let me just straighten up. I pick up the book. There's $500 there that was not there before.
Wow.
Now that
And
happened.
this is $500 that you
It
had
wasn't
no
there.
idea where it came from.
No idea where it came from.
Wow.
So now there was a professional organizer. We were bartering services, and she was in in the townhouse in Staten Island, and we're talking about. I'm telling her that money appears out of thin air, and anything and everything is absolutely possible, and she goes, "Oh wow, I really wish that was true." I tell her the story as she looks. She opens up the cabinet. There's nothing there, right? At my desk. She opens up the cabinet, she closes it. She goes, "Wow, I wish that was really true." And I said, "Well, it absolutely is true." And I gave her some more examples, and she goes, "You know what? Let me look in the cabinet again." She opens the cabinet. There was $500 there.
Wow.
That wasn't there, and she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that
And
that
she
just
didn't
happened."
remember putting it there.
No one. It was. She opened it up, nothing there. Closed it. I'm telling her the story. She goes, "You know what? Let me look in the cabinet again," because she's figuring out how she's going to organize this section of my desk. And she opens it up again, $500. Right when I told her the story. So, and it wasn't there.
I really hadn't heard of that before, to tell you the truth.
Well, they actually, I know in India they've done it where some yogis will have their hand and they'll manifest, is it rupees, ruples? Whatever it is, whatever the currency is, they'll manifest out of thin air into their hand. I have not mastered that yet because on one level, money isn't important to me. We all need it, but I do know I'm on autopilot. I do know when I do need it, it comes to me. So,
Oh, that's good.
and it allows me to focus on other things like the healing work that I do, the teaching that I do.
So you've had the occasion on more than one occasion for money to just appear.
Yes, nonstop, whenever it's
Whenever
needed.
you
Yes.
think I need money and it's there.
Yes.
I know a few people that could pass that along too.
Oh, I'll give you another example because one in the 2-day healing workshop and Evolve Your Soul training that I do, one of the last things that we do on the second day is I guide everyone to connect to source, that beautiful pure love, white light healing energy, and I guide them to send that energy and energize these coins, dollar coins that I have in the front of the room with abundance, large amounts of money, surprise checks, success, opportunity, so on and so forth. And this, I think maybe last year, I did this. It was last year, last August in Massachusetts, and I had one gentleman was looking at me like, he was on board with a lot of things, but he couldn't get on board with, money appearing out of thin air. And before we did the session, I looked right at him and I said, money appears out of thin air. Believe it, expect it, know it. So we energized the coins after the session, gave the coins out, and he took the coin and he said, "You know what? He goes, I'm going to put it in my wallet in the section that I've never used, never opened it." So he opens up this section of his wallet to put the coin in, and there were $200 in $20 bills, and he was like, he had to get up and share. He's like, "That was never there. I never used this. How did it get there?" And then he was a believer. It just believe it, expect it, know it, and it's like this. When you step into a state of knowing, it's like this.
That's very interesting. I'm going to have to try all these things.
Well, don't try it. Do it.
Do it. That's right. Do it. That's right. Yes. That's true. Well, that's really interesting about how to do that. I do have a book at home that I didn't really read. I just kind of scanned through it, but it did talk about manifesting all kinds of things, money, objects, and things out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's possible. I mean,
Oh, and here's another thing. Anything and everything is absolutely possible. Your mind is so very powerful. You are the absolute creator. Believe it, expect it, know it. When you know that anything and everything is absolutely possible, it's like this.
I understand what you're saying about, but the thing is, there are certain things that really aren't possible. I mean, you
Uh-oh.
can't go to a cemetery
no.
and tell your friend who's laying in a grave, come on, let's go.
Well, that's just the body. That's just the corpse.
Right.
We never die.
True.
We are energy.
That's right.
We are awareness. We never die. We're eternal. We're infinite. So what would be, and now you have to think about this. Is that possible? I'm going to say it is possible, but why would you do that? So
Well, yeah, once
right,
a person
so
is
yes,
gone,
so
they
they're
should
in
stay
the
gone.
grave. You're not going to say come on up,
But if
you
there
can
was
visit with them.
somebody that did want to bring somebody back,
Why would you want to do that? They're in a beautiful, perfect place.
I know
They're not
but
dead.
there are people that might want to.
Well, then they should really do some research and
They
realize
probably should
that
get their
that's,
head checked too, right?
yes, I would say so. Yes, but again, another possibility is, and I know you said it might be too confusing to talk about the infinite realities, the Mandela effect, and so on and so forth. But if someone is manifesting for the person to be physically alive, it is very possible to shift into a reality in which that person never died.
Really?
Yes. I actually just had.
But eventually they have to die anyway.
Well,
Eventually.
on one level of reality, sure. But I just recently, a student of mine, their friend's parent died several years ago. Remembers going to the funeral, the wake, the whole thing, and was talking to the friend recently. The parent's still alive. Now, I know we can't talk about this because you said it might be too confusing for the audience.
It might be,
but
but continue.
But
Go ahead.
we shifted into a reality in which that person never died. It's very possible.
Now, but if you shift into a reality where that person never died, but meanwhile there's a grave with a stone on it.
No, not in that reality. When you shift into the reality in which the person never died, there is no grave because the person never died.
Yeah.
Now you also have to ask yourself, why would you want to do that?
No, you wouldn't.
Right.
I mean,
So you
even
don't
my
want to
parents,
interfere with
as much
anyone
as I
else's.
love them,
Right.
I wouldn't want to bring them back.
You don't want to interfere with anyone else's path. You just want to control you, your mind, your thoughts, your intentions.
Well, you're the only person you can control.
You're the only person
you can change.
You're the only person you should control.
Well, right, and you're the only person that you can change. You can't change somebody else.
Unfortunately, many people do change other people, and that is unfortunate.
Sometimes for the worse, yeah.
Of course,
Usually
yes.
for the worse.
And a lot of times it has to do with the control, especially like in relationships. You never want to control anyone else. You never want to change anyone else.
No.
Now, if two people are in that beautiful relationship and they're both working to be their best selves and they're both working together and there is no control, there is no manipulation, it's just, when you're in that beautiful relationship, you want to be your best self for the other person.
Right.
And if the other person is the same way, I mean, you're both growing together in a positive way.
Well, you can't become complacent.
Right. So, in any case, you have to think about why you would want someone to be alive. Because the other thing is, though, you don't want to interfere with anyone else's path. But it is possible to shift into a reality in which the person never passed away.
Now, would that be unacceptable?
I'm going to say, if you're intending to do that.
Which I'm not.
Okay.
I'll leave everybody laying where
Without judgment, I'm going to say it depends on you. Why do you want to do it? You have to ask yourself the reasons of why you would want to do that. And you're in this reality. You experience what you experienced. Most of the time, there's a reason. Most of the time, you have chosen your path and what you're going to experience. So you really have to examine why you would want to shift into a reality in which the person never passed. Life on this planet is a blink of an eye. We are eternal, we are infinite. So regardless of what's thrown at me, I roll with the punches and I just continue to send love and light to everyone everywhere. Continue to teach from the most purest positive aspects of who I am. I do not, when things happen, I'm okay with some of those negative things that are thrown at me. I'm okay with it because I don't let it affect me. I don't let it hold me back or bring me down.
Well,
I continue to move forward in a positive way.
It's not what happens, it's how you handle it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of things happen, and you just have to be able to accept what comes your way, good or bad.
And there are a number of celebrities that had passed away years ago and that are alive today.
Is that so?
Yes.
No, like
yes.
who?
I'm not going to say. I don't want to interfere with anyone's path. Tupac. I'm not going to say anyone's name. That's it.
This Tupac?
Tupac Shakur? No, I'm not saying anything.
He died and he's still here?
I'm not saying anything. It depends. It depends on the reality. But again, you said we couldn't talk about the infinite reality.
Well, I didn't say we couldn't. I just said it might confuse people, and it would
No,
would
you
confuse
said it was
me
definitely,
too.
yes, you said it was definitely going to confuse everyone. Let's not talk about it, so.
Okay, well, we won't talk about that right now because,
Okay.
yeah, this is all, now, you're blowing me away right now, tell you the truth.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh.
So, all right, so then now, as far as manifesting what you had, let's kind of encapsulate this now.
Okay.
Okay? And put it all in a nutshell because this way, everybody will have a good idea of what they're supposed to do when the show is over.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh,
You've got the floor.
Oh, okay. Well, where are you right now? Do you meditate? Do you do self-hypnosis? How do you manifest your intentions? One, everything works. So choose what's best for you. Choose what feels good for you. When you're manifesting your intentions, you're going to put yourself in a mindset of believing it, expecting it, knowing that it's going to manifest. When you put yourself in that frame of mind, believing, expecting, knowing, there's no room for doubt. You do not want to have any kind of doubt. Like you said earlier, if you want the Mercedes, you're not going to have the doubt. You know you're going to have the Mercedes. Then everything else will adjust and shift to make that the reality. So no doubt, and you're going to manifest from your mind, believing, expecting, knowing, but you want to feel. You want to feel yourself already having it. You want to picture, visualize, imagine that you already have it, and all of the feelings associated with having your desire materialize. And again, please do not intend to be with a specific person, a specific type.
So you can manifest by saying, imagining a person, but not anybody in particular,
Yes.
that you're having a wonderful relationship with.
Yes, absolutely. So you'll go through, you'll play maybe in a movie screen in your mind, play it over and over from how you meet and how you go through life, and see the end result. See yourself happy, like 10, 20 years from now, still holding one another, still kissing, still going on vacations, like really enjoying one another's company 10 years, 20 years, 30, 40 years into the future. And don't have a specific face, maybe a body type perhaps, but you're feeling the energy and the soul of that person. Everything will adjust for that to be the case. So you want to start imagining, play the movie over and over, that you work on yourself, you bring yourself to be happy. Now you're at a higher frequency and vibration to attract that higher frequency and vibration person that also did the work on themselves. Now you're together and you're playing that over and over in your mind. You're creating as you're imagining, believing, expecting, knowing you're going to have it, feeling it, it will happen.
That's really, really very interesting. This is something that people go through life not knowing this information.
Right, that's true.
So they go through life not having what they'd love to have, not being able to accomplish what they want to accomplish.
Correct.
Not being able to do anything that makes their life worthwhile. And it's just simply what you just said, manifested by by bringing it about.
Yeah. And that's another thing, what you said there, is that too many people think that they have to be bound by what has happened to them, by the restrictions and, their self-esteem, their confidence, the bad stuff that has happened to them. And they allow it to hold them back. They feel like they don't deserve this or they don't deserve that. They don't know that they can have this. They don't know that they can have more than what they've experienced. And that's one of the things I love to do. I love to get people out of their own way, knowing that they can have everything. And that's the thing, before you start manifesting your intentions for the car, the house, the money, manifest your intentions for you to be the best you, to get rid of all of those restrictions, all of those limitations, and know there are no limitations. You can be your best self, and your best will continue to get better, and you'll always continue to do better than your best.
And you'll probably find people treating you differently.
Absolutely,
too,
absolutely.
Because you are exhibiting a whole different aura about you.
Absolutely, and that's why self-love and appreciation is so important. So bring yourself to love you, to be happy with yourself first, where you're not looking for the happiness outside of yourself by the car, the money, the house, the relationship.
The happiness
Be
comes from
happy
within
with
first.
you
That's
first.
Right. Yes, yes.
Everything else will fall into place. Everything else will be so much easier.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yes, you have to really know yourself, know thyself.
Yes, and love thyself.
And love thyself.
When you love yourself, it's easier for others to love you.
That's
it's
true,
easier for
too.
you to share love with others.
And loving yourself doesn't mean being selfish. It
No,
means,
absolutely not.
It means even being selfless in some cases. But loving yourself and having that good feeling about yourself will attract others to you with positive things.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And in the meantime, I would like to thank you for being here, and this has been so interesting.
Thank you for having me. I always love being on your show.
And I always love having you. So
and I'm so grateful that you do a show like this.
Oh, thank you. And you'll be around on more shows, I'm sure.
Thank you.
There's plenty of things that you can talk about.
And are you watching my show, Soulmate Talk?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Oh goodness.
When's it on?
I have no idea.
Oh, geez. Well, we're gonna
But
have to.
I am taping
Right after
the next episode right after this.
I know.
So I will be wearing the same
That's
outfit.
okay. You'll be excused. Don't worry.
Thank you so much.
In the meantime, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed the show. Good night.